welcome back to another Off the Page. It's just, of course, a Friday. It's not technically a Friday right now,
Nope.
but it will be a Friday. Yeah. So thank you straight away to all the people on Patreon giving the monies. I don't know why you do it, but you do it somehow, some reason. Um, Mitch Joe, Mitch692, Halftime Joe, Twitter, as per usual. If anything, if we don't talk about anything, it's because it is a Wednesday. We're doing this quite early for us because
Yep.
Joe's seeing Justice League tomorrow, so we can't record them. But yeah, last week we had the announcement of X-Men Red that would be led by Jean Grey. We now know 90% of the team because there's not everyone revealed yet.
Really?
Yeah.
It's well, at least it shows everybody on the cover.
Well, that they've shown us in the silhouette. You know, they can edit these things,
What do you mean?
and they could edit out the character that they haven't revealed yet. So you wouldn't have seen it in the silhouette. So when the silhouette's
Okay.
revealed, you're only seeing what they want you to see.
Okay. Then it must be important. Then like a really
Um,
a
I
spoilery type of
assume
thing.
so. I assume so, but I'm not 100% sure. To be honest, I think the team looks quite cool. It's quite a
I.
unique makeup. It's the first and only X-Men team currently to have two Wolverines on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because they're in Laura and Gabby. Because of course they're on it, because fucking Tom Taylor's writing it. So the easiest guess, apart from Jean Grey being on the team, would have been Laura and Gabby. And I don't know if Gabby's got adamantium claw. It doesn't look like a bone to me. Some people say it's still a bone.
Didn't you
I don't see it.
ask? I
I
think.
asked, but I got no reply. So
Oh.
no.
Oh.
Tom
Oh.
Taylor, you hurt me in my heart,
Yeah.
right
Come
where it
on,
hurt.
Tom.
My soul hurts. You got a bone to me.
But
No, fucking Donny Cates can retweet me, but you can't give me a simple yes or no. No.
having Namor on it seems interesting to me. Like I know he is. He usually
Namor?
doesn't show up in teams, right? If I remember,
Oh,
sometimes maybe.
he has been on teams. You know, he was on the Illuminati.
Yeah,
He was
well,
on
yeah, I know
what
that.
was
Yeah.
that cat? What was the Cap team with the Human Torch? Oh, is it the Invaders?
I might. I'm more. I'm
Like,
inclined to say
like
yeah,
it's like the old team. The names just
but
like
he's
escapes me.
usually by himself, so that's why it just struck me
Kind of,
as like,
yeah,
oh, okay, cool. Like
yeah.
Namor's on a team.
It's
Awesome.
gonna be interesting though because the black guy at the back with the bright blue tattoos
Yeah,
is a Wakandan.
yeah. Gentle is what his name is.
Yeah. Which I never heard of. To be fair, there's too many fucking mutants as it is, so I'm not surprised. But a lot of people are like, some few gentle fans out there, and he seems kind of cool. Like it's a bit more of an human sort of power, where his power will like eventually kill him, and those
Yeah.
tattoos are vibranium, and they're kind of holding his body together. So he seems interesting.
So yeah,
Um,
I mean you are right. They are teasing one more fan favorite member
yeah.
that isn't on the thing. So wonder who could it be? Like these already, it's already a like a team I never would have thought would have been put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And
this
it
might
like
be the best team.
it could literally be anyone because X-Men Blue's being shaken up at the end of the Venom crossover. I like Kurt Nightcrawler was on gold and he's now on red. So if they put magic on there, I'll be happy and it'll be like the best book they have for X-Men right now. But
Is there like an actual not synopsis, but you know, kind of a what Red is gonna be about? Like what it might focus around?
um,
Because I don't.
I think it's Jean Grey making another new school.
Okay,
I think. There is a synopsis. I have read it. I just can't remember it right now
I'm looking
because of
for it
my
right now.
old man brains all over the place. Um, I'm certain it's something to do about her making a new school or something like that. Because it's an X-Men team, there has to be a new school.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. X-Men Blue's got the Magneto one in Madripoor, wherever the fuck they are, isn't it? X-Men Gold's got the one in Central Park because they had to be right slap bang in the middle of everything. And this one would be schoolless. No, I do wonder if they could be very ballsy. They could be silly and bring back Scott for this.
Yeah.
I doubt it because Scott coming back would be a bit weird. Especially it's like, oh hey, you're like a fascist. I'm joining the team.
I mean, this just seems cool. It seems one of the more interesting teams. The one I thought was the most interesting before was, I think, Blue, the one with the younger team. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, this
I
one
mean,
looks
that's
good to
been
me.
the best one, to be honest, out of the
Yeah.
two. No, Gold, I dropped off after like, the second issue. I've been reading it for the crossover and it has been better, but it I got no interest in going back to it. Like, Blue's definitely the more interesting one to me. Next one, which came out last week as well. DC have announced a Mera series.
Yep.
Is this an ongoing or is this a mini series?
Um, a
I
six
would
issue
hope.
limited series will be
Thank
written
God.
by Aquaman, writer Dan Abnett. But I mean, this is the same thing I've always been saying. Like I said last week, of like how long do these comics need to go? I thought Iceman should have been a 6 issue miniseries. I thought a lot of like things that come out of that spin out of events should be miniseries, while some are ongoing. Like this, good. It's a miniseries. Like makes sense. You don't want to keep it too long because then, in my opinion, it goes off and it's like it doesn't matter anymore after a while. So, but
Yeah, I mean, like something like this, like what can you really do with Mira that hasn't been done in an Aquaman?
I mean, you can maybe show her living actually in Atlantis, while Aquaman never really does. Sometimes he's like goes in and out. He like you can actually show like the neighborhoods and stuff like that, like a more street vibe ish to Atlantis.
So basically, make Mira the world of Atlantis equivalent to Marvel's World of Wakanda, sort of thing.
I don't know. I've never read
Well,
that.
World of Wakanda was literally just like, let's build up Wakanda, let's show you the culture and
Oh well,
everything.
I was thinking just like taking the Defenders type of like the whole street vibe of it and just
Oh,
putting
you
Mera
mean more in
in.
that sense? I mean, yeah, I
I
can
mean,
see
either
that.
way, that just sounds like similar things. Just taking it like from a bottom aspect of it, like
Yeah.
meeting people who have jobs and stuff like that. Maybe kids who go to school. And I don't know. I'm sure all that is in Atlantis. You know what I mean? So that if it wasn't ongoing, that could have been something. But this is to me. I'm glad it's a limited because it's like I said before, how long does it need to be and how long will it be until it doesn't matter anymore, and having it be a miniseries makes it matter more because it's gonna spin out of it's gonna have a point to it, you know what I mean? Like similar to how we have characters in movies or TV shows and we see them a lot, but like do they actually have a point, or are they just there to be there, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
I do.
I usually think miniseries do have a point, especially when they spin out of something because they have a story to tell that they want to tell, and then bam, they're out. They're not just gonna
Hmm.
say something and then keep it going and not know
You
what to
you
do.
just don't want Cyborg.
No, that's I don't want Superwoman.
Yeah, you don't want the
Cyborg
characters.
actually matters. I think he's a character that will matter. Superwoman was the one that I thought didn't need to be 30 something issues. I thought it could have been 6 or 10. Tell the story of Lois being Superwoman, and then you see her sometimes in Superman comics.
Yeah,
So, um, I mean, I say the same thing with TV shows where Arrow or Green Arrow or Flash, right? All you needed to be was the 5 seasons. Bam, you have them appear sometimes in the other shows and stuff like that. Like to me, that just makes it seem like it matters more. I don't know if I'm the only one on there. I might be because there's probably a lot of people, specifically I think women, who are really excited about this and would have loved it to be an ongoing because more female characters out there would be great. Because there isn't the majority, so I don't know. I
you
so
push into dangerous territory there, Joe.
no, because there isn't. I mean, there isn't a majority of women characters in comics, which you think there'd be more by now. It's 2017. Come on,
You would have thought, but
isn't she gonna be in Justice League? So like
yeah, yeah.
so it goes together hand in hand, and
It's
it's
almost like she's going to be in a movie.
yeah, it's my that's what I say. What just happened right now with Marvel? And I was like, it's almost like he's gonna be in a movie. It's something that
Oh, we said it last week, didn't we?
No, it was actually after we recorded.
Was
So
it?
what
Um,
was it? It was like something. It might have been Thanos' children coming back. I was like, it's almost like they're gonna be in a movie.
Oh
So,
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
so I was
yeah.
like,
I don't think that was last week. I think it might have been a couple of weeks ago. But you're right.
no, but in the whole no surrender thing when I saw the cover, like this was after the show and this
Yeah,
was
but
just me.
we've had that announced for a while.
It's true. I mean,
So.
to me, it's like I love that phrase of like it's almost like they're gonna be in a movie because it's true. So this is cool. Mera's gonna have her own little thing. Excited to see what they can do with the 6 issues. So yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much it.
I'd say I imagine if Abner's got a story for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now I've completely lost what's next.
The wedding of the century.
Yes, this one caught me a bit off guard.
Yeah, I
Mainly
didn't get
because
it.
it's 6 months out. Should you have done this early? I don't know. But I don't know what we can really say. I don't know of anyone in a position in Marvel right now to warrant the quote wedding of the century.
Yeah,
Uh,
because you think the point of getting this out would be probably around the same time we find or we see like a tease of two characters getting close to each other, but you said that there isn't really, so it's like
As I say, I can't sit here and just pick out a couple in Marvel that
see,
could get married at
to
this
me,
point.
like I don't care if it's 7 months out. It's the fact that there isn't necessarily someone that you're teasing already like that.
If they start soon and it builds up over the next whatever it
Seven,
is
6 months,
until the
yeah.
7 6 months, fine, fine. It's as long as it's warranted.
But
I think it was a bit cheeky with the fucking reveal for this, where it's like, oh, here's Reed and Sue, here's
we
Hank, and
didn't we have
here's
what was it? I felt like it was last week, but it was probably weeks before where we mentioned something about how Lois and Clark and how theirs was the wedding of the century in the 90s. But we still, it's not that thing to pick on. It was just like, oh, that's curious. Like I mentioned it and they brought it back. But the thing is, like, as long as the tease of the two characters is within a week of each other, so like let's say they teased it, right, and then this came out like within a week, or this comes out within a week, and then or this comes out right, and then within a week we see the tease of it, then it makes sense to me. But like just having it right now and have people go frantic about it, I don't know if it's a good idea. It really should have been
but
together.
at the same time, just because we can't see anyone right now, doesn't
Doesn't
mean
mean there isn't. Yeah,
it's a new couple. It might be an old one.
yeah. You're hoping it's a
Because you
Fantastic
know,
Four,
like,
right?
well, here's the thing. Like, you look at the reveal for it, and it's all couples that have been married before.
Yeah.
Like Gene and Scott were married before; they were no longer married. Hank and Janet, I don't think did they break up. They must have done.
Hmm.
I can't remember who was at the top. I don't know. I can't remember the names of who were at the bottom below Gene and Scott. But it's the LGBT couple that was huge, and it's gonna bug me who the fuck it was. And then you had Reed and Sue in the bottom. Now I was under the impression that Reed and Sue had broken up in Civil War, like the original one.
Yeah.
I don't remember them ever getting back together. So in my head, I saw that and instantly went to like, oh, you're gonna bring them back and get them married. It's just like, actually, is that a good thing? Would that be the best thing to do? It's just like, actually, I don't know how to really take this little tease, but some people are going, oh, it's clearly going to be Mary Jane and Spider-Man. It's like, well, it doesn't have to be that. They've told you that's never going to come back. If it is that, I'd be surprised. No, I think you got more of a likelihood of it being Peter and Gwen getting married, but I don't think Peter's ever going to get married, to be honest.
I mean, I have no idea because I haven't necessarily kept up with all the
No
comics.
one has no idea.
June 20th,
People are lying.
2018. I'm curious as to whether it's going to be a one shot, an event, an arc of a comic. You know, either or. I don't know if it necessarily needs an event. An arc of a comic would be great. Like I think
I doubt it would be an event.
yeah, I think it's an
Because,
arc probably.
Everyone likes to go, oh, they've said no events, but they're doing all these events. And it's like they haven't actually done an event yet.
Well, what do you think would it be more, a one shot or an arc?
I'd rather a one shot. It would probably be an arc,
Yeah.
to be honest. But wouldn't it be some shit, though, if they married Tony Stark and Mary Jane?
I mean,
for
Do
so
it.
many
Why
people
not?
love. Avengers No Surrender reveals now. Are these the covers that I'm thinking of? The big
No,
connecting four.
not the big connecting four, but we can talk about both of those. These are four covers,
Oh,
but
these are
there's
the first four
also
covers.
yeah, but there's also the connecting four that I really liked.
I like the connecting four. I think the connecting four show more than it should have done
Yeah.
because there's someone in the back that I have no idea who it is, and it's looking like a villain because like the placement of it and everything.
Trying
But
to,
I really like these covers. No,
trying to
they're
look
pretty.
for it right now on your Twitter because you tweeted a picture, didn't you?
That's the only place I saw it. I've retweeted below.
Oh,
But
you retweeted it. 'Cause I'm trying to remember because I saw it, but I don't necessarily. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I think it looks great, and I mean, I just love the concept of the Earth is missing or it's misplaced somewhere. I can't wait to see what
something
happens.
crazy. It's just like okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. But yeah, with the covers, I mean, the children are there, Thanos. I don't necessarily know. Like, I see Hercules, that's Wasp, that's Scarlet Witch. Don't know who the guy in the back is.
That's Brother Voodoo.
Okay, that's I could tell because of his staff.
He does do the voodoo. Then you got Wonder Man with the glasses,
So
obviously. 'Cause
these
he's
aren't the
Batman.
first four covers. These are the next four.
No,
Like
these are the
five,
first.
six,
These are the
seven, eight.
first four. These are the first four covers.
Really? Then why does it say next? So 5, 6, 7, 8. Part 8. Yeah, these are the next four.
I thought these were the first four.
No,
So I thought it started at.
it starts, but these are the next four. So this is part 5, part 6, part 7, part 8.
Oh,
And
it fucking says it. I was looking at just going by the number. I didn't see the part 5 bit.
yeah,
But yeah, that
um,
explains why there's a guy exploding on the part 5 cover, and I could not tell you who the fuck that is supposed to be.
yeah.
I imagine that's the guy on the 4-part connecting cover in the back because it's a very similar imagery with him.
And what was the new character's name? Valkyrie or Voyager? Voyager.
Voyager.
Yeah, that's
I
her right
really-
on the cover.
Yeah, I really like Voyager. Just like the aesthetic wise, I really like it. It's
I
that
dig it.
old, simple, cheesy sci-fi where you got the little shoulder pads.
Well, to me, it has the name of the hero, like the initial on as like on the.
I mean, yeah, it does.
I like that.
It has that.
You know, I'm a fan of that. You know, when Superman has the S, Wonder Woman has the W, and Batman
I mean,
Flash.
it fits. It fits in some places. It doesn't fit in others.
Like Daredevil with the double D. I like
never
that.
liked that. It just looks goofy.
I like that for some reason. I think it's cool.
No, I think it works here because it just looks, it meshes with everything. You know, she got silver hair, silver buckle. It go.
So the first one, part
Sorry,
5, there's a guy exploding. Part 6, they're coming out of a helicarrier. Part 7, the children of Thanos with Voyager, and then part 8 is Hawkeye on a horse with some dude. I don't know who that is.
That is Red Wolf because Occupy Avengers
Makes sense.
You know, this is actually the first time they've mentioned Occupy Avengers is going to be part of this event, even though they've said that it spans all the Avengers books. They never mentioned Occupy, probably because no one ever read Occupy because it was kind of boring as fuck. But they didn't forget about them, so Hawkeye's back.
Art looks great, like the covers. So...
I mean, the interiors are great as well.
Yeah.
It's all, especially the Pepe one, Pepe Larraz, whatever his name is.
But what were you talking about on the connecting four and how it showed too much? What shows too much?
It's just like the villain in the back.
Is it, I feel like that's the exploding guy.
It's the villain. I mean, yeah,
Maybe it's the villain.
I think it is. I just assume it's the villain. It's kind of like, is this?
Maybe the exploding guy in part 5 is the villain. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I would have said it was too early or it's too late to reveal a villain in part 5, but it's 16 parts long, so it's not too late.
Is that it? Is that like the only thing you saw? You're like, oh well. I mean, they kind of if they're showing the villain this early, like.
I was just surprised that it's like we don't know who that is, and they haven't mentioned the villain or anything. It's like, there was a.
I do like how they show the statue though.
Oh, where it's getting all broken up.
Yeah, and that was like a thing that where we first saw it of Voyager there and all that. So that's cool. It's cool.
It's gonna shatter the Avengers history.
I'm kind of excited though.
I mean, I'm hyped for it. Like just the creative team alone, I don't see how it can possibly be bad. You're obviously gonna get people being like, people won't like it because people don't like anything. But
yeah,
It's like this is people should be hyped for this because Wade, Ewing, and Zub on their own are great, and together, if they worked well together, then Christ. To our last piece of news, which isn't really a piece of news
No,
because
yeah.
this was announced last year, and we spoke about it last year, and there's been nothing for a whole year
Yeah.
until today. And Mark Millar introduces the black female Kick-Ass, which was
See,
I'm certain he said this was supposed to come out in February of this year.
I thought the difference was he announced it last year, but this one was gonna preview what's inside of the comic. That's when it says previews. I thought that's what he was gonna
Yeah,
say.
this previews it, but he announced it this time in 2016.
Yeah,
And I'm certain, well, he might have been before this time last year, but he said it was coming out in February this year, and I'm certain of that. And it's like, well, where's everything been?
oh, I don't know. I just when like I know I remember he announced it or like he said it, and then now it's actually the preview of it. I don't see this as a technical announcement. To me, this is just a preview.
No,
But
but
with him talking about
he's
it,
been like building this up to be the next kick-ass thing. This is kind of like, this is a bit cheeky because it's not really news, but it is because it's obviously the preview. You get your first look at it, but
wait. Oh, yeah, right. So wait, no, because Kick-Ass is not an ongoing series. Kick-Ass is in books, isn't it? Isn't it graphic novels?
um,
I swear I don't read too much Kick-Ass. Hardly.
was they ongoing?
I always thought it was
Well,
graphic novels and
they
not.
they collected them graphic novels. I can't remember if they did issue by issues.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Fuck, it's been so long, I can't remember to be honest. I don't
But
I, I don't think they did.
other than that, like, I might be inclined to read this.
I mean, I'll check it out. Like,
Yeah, this.
if it just seems more of the same, I won't stick with it. But
I
I
mean,
never finished Kick-Ass 3. I don't know why. I just never got around to it.
well, it looks like she's like a military person that now becomes Kick-Ass. So I guess that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, which kind of, if that is the
Takes
case,
away
it
from
kind of,
Kick-Ass.
yeah, it kind of misses the point slightly. It's just like, oh,
I guess. I mean, I
I'm,
guess we'll see.
I mean, yeah, we'll see how it pans out, but it is what it is. You know, yeah, it's Kick-Ass. I like Kick-Ass. I'll watch it. Well, I'll watch it. I'll read it and I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it just we'll check it out. I mean, I'm also sure that they're gonna make a show or out of it for Netflix, right?
I don't think it depends who has if the movie rights or the live action rights. It's
Then
still
why
at
didn't
Universal.
was he just hinting at this when he put out?
Yeah, this is his Kick-Ass
Oh,
announcement.
yeah, okay.
That's what I'm kind of like. It's not really. No, it's cheeky because he announced this last year, but he's re-announcing it this year.
Yeah,
It's
reannounce.
like, it's like, can you pick up your slack and actually do some work? You're a writer, right? Like, come on. Like, yes, I
Um,
get it, he's busy with everything, but
yeah, there's just I recommend checking out the interview with him. It's on Entertainment Weekly. Apparently, people are saying it's a really great interview and it shows more pages of what it's all about because it just shows like Kick-Ass being caught by what seems to me be a cartel, and then she goes flashback to when she was in the military. So you can look at how the art is there, and it's kind of typical Kick-Ass in my
things
head.
like it's John Romita Jr. It looks as John Romita Jr. does. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I just check it out. I would say if you're excited, you're looking forward to it. The interview has a lot of Mark Millar telling, like, letting you know what's up with that, and some of like what Netflix is gonna be doing. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Really, there wasn't too
Yeah.
much, but this is our headline because it was the big thing. It was also today, I think.
Oh yeah, it literally came out as I told when I said about it.
Yeah.
It's
So
like, hey, but yeah, that's everything. And on to the comics that came out today or 2 days ago now. Who's going first?
you because the
Am I going
Batman,
first?
yeah, is
Oh
last.
yeah, of course, of course, of course. So I'm gonna start off with the Mighty Thor number 701. This is basically Jason Aaron getting rid of War Thor Because the entire issue is Mangog beating the shit out of him while explaining what Mangog is, like where he came from, how he came to be, the fact that he comes back because where he comes from, you can't really get rid of him, and like how the only kind of way to get rid of him is to stop him being angry, bit like the Hulk, but 10 times worse. I say 10 times more, but yeah, and of course the first person he met on no, Mangog doesn't know Asgard's gone. No, he doesn't know New Asgard. He was a place, so he goes to the old Asgard where the 1610 hammer landed, and Volstag's gone back to pick it up, and of course they meet, and Mangog's saying all this stuff to the War Thor, and he's just like, "You're not going to be able to beat me. I'm like the rage of a billion beings," and he's like, you might have the rage of a planet. I have the rage of an entire dead universe. And like an idiot, puts the hammer in Mangog's mouth. And it's like, why would you give him that power? Like, seriously. So he just gets his shit pushed in from that. And then if you're wondering what Jason Aaron plans to do with the hammer, look at the cover for this issue, because he tells you exactly what he's going to do with the hammer. And Mangog just crushes the fuck out of it. Kind of like Hela, but not quite. He uses two hands, not one. So the 1610 hammer is no more.
No.
Completely. And of course, no hammer, no Thor. Volstag's powers go. He's got one arm that's virtually hanging on by the skin. No, he's bloody as fuck. And then, as he's hanging off the edge of New Asgard, Malekith, because Malekith's behind literally everything in Jason Aaron's run, tells Mangog that the Asgards and the gods are on New Asgardia. It's by Saturn, so he goes away. And then he just drops a knife on Volstag's hand, so he lets go and floats into space. And it's just like, oh shit. Rip Volstagg. Like,
R.I.P.
Spoilers, you've died twice in 3 weeks. Technically. Kind of. Not in the same universe, but technically.
Ooh.
But yeah. It's just like, well, I don't know how they're going to stop this if the War Thor, because the War Thor was stronger than Jane. Well, not, it was close, actually. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I don't know how, because it's implied that he's a lot angrier than he is. Like, every time Mangog comes back, he's angrier, he's stronger. So, I don't know if this is going to be the end of Jane Foster Thor. Because if he can break the 1610 hammer, he can break Mjolnir. So, I imagine this is probably going to be how Thor gets the hammer, or that golden one. No. Quick theory, I'm just going to say he makes it out of Mangog. Fuck it, why not?
I hope he makes it out.
No, I'm saying he makes the hammer out of Mangog.
Oh, they said, I hope he gets that. I was like, I hope he gets that too, because it's like, do you just kill him?
Because like how Mjolnir is made out of a storm, like the raging cosmic storm, have a golden hammer made out of rage from like an entire planet of a civilization wiped out.
I'll be honest, that sounds epic.
Like, sounds pretty fucking metal.
It does.
But yeah, that was my first one.
All right. My first one, I'm gonna be talking about Batman 35. I switched it up because originally I was gonna talk about Superman. But I'm now doing Batman, and this is almost unexpectedly a heartwarming story because it's continuing with Tom King, which I still think the art took a dip, but it's still okay enough to be able to read the story. But it continues Tom King's storyline of Batman and Catwoman being engaged, and Batman has to go ask Talia for her quote unquote grace. But
I was gonna say like the mother of the child, get the blessings.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes to do that, and the only way to do it is trial by battle, which is Talia versus Selena Kyle.
Yeah,
it's a pretty epic one, and they kind of like fight and tell each other their stories. The big part of this, though, I think everybody loved was when Damian and Dick Grayson were just kind of like hanging out, like waiting till day comes so that they could go to where Batman is, and they were just talking to each other about like why Bruce did it and whatnot and how's this and that, and they kind of go, Tom King goes over the fact that Bruce is never happy. He can't be in the life he lives, but he's trying to be now. He's trying to be happy. And I think the big thing that everybody took out of it was that actually Damon said it out loud. Bruce is Batman. He's Robin. That's why Bruce didn't say anything. I was like that's kind of sad. It's like, oh, Damien, come on, man. It's there's a little bromance going on. Oh, I mean, they are brothers technically. Yeah. So it was a little bro thing going on of both of them talking to each other, and Nightwing's kind of saying, you actually said that. Like they're laughing at each other, making jokes, but they're all also kind of coming to sense that Bruce needed to do this to try to live a happy life. And other than that, it was pretty cool. Like the only one thing I would say is just that I wonder is there gonna be an actual wedding? I'm curious for this whole thing because
I'd imagine there would be. What if that's what Marvel was teasing earlier?
It's the Batman and Catwoman wedding.
Fuck it.
Yeah, but
that'd be fun. I don't know.
It was a cool issue. It was underratedly heartwarming because at the very end, Damon's like, "Father," and he's like, he asks, "Are you happy?" And he says, "I'm getting there." So I just thought like Batman said that, and I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. So.
But what a contrast! Last week we had Batman say he gave up or he gives up, and this week we have him saying he's getting to be happy.
Well, he's trying to be.
Like two things you don't really think Batman would say or is supposed to say.
And it happens. Like both writers are really taking, like Tom King, Scott Snyder, are really going out on a limb with their Batman stories. Of course, you also have James Tynion and Detective Comics, who basically made Batman lose a fight. So it's like one gave up, one lost a fight, and another one's trying to be happy. Like different times we're in for Batman. But
that's good, like let's make Batman a character.
Let's try something different, I would say,
Makes him more appealing.
I just thought it was funny, like when Damien asked, "So did you see my mother?" And she said, "Yeah, she stabbed your father in the back, so I stabbed her in the back." I was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, other than that was cool. Also, I love Tom King doing this.
Before we move on to my next one, there is a bit of breaking news.
Yeah,
a tiny little bit. It is Jim Zub who does Spectacular Spider-Man, isn't it?
Think so.
Yeah, because in Spectacular Spider-Man 300, Peter is going to reveal his identity again.
I don't really get that. What?
He's going to tell the world it's Peter Parker again.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's going to reveal it because he did it in Civil War. They got rid of it one more day.
So that's the wedding. Everyone. I don't know.
I mean, it could be.
It's so weird.
That could lead into it, because maybe they are undoing all the Spider-Man stuff that people didn't like.
I felt like we couldn't. I'll just leave it at that. Like,
I'll just put a plus on there.
Okay. Yeah. I'll put a plus. I'll put a plus on the timestamps.
I'll do it like the Guardian logo and have like Peter Parker. But my next one, which I believe you've read as well, or you should have read,
Doctor Strange.
Number 3.
I didn't get to. Couldn't find it. Which is sad. I know.
No, it's so good.
You telling me about it and me seeing some of the previews. So yeah.
It starts off in a way that was literally. It's introducing the reader to the whole new concept as well as like the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
Like there's some guy who's got his eyes are possessed by demons and they're arguing, so he obviously goes Doctor Strange, and it's like he spends most of his time with Zelma, and like it's obviously some time has passed because she knows a lot more now. She's like nothing really phases her, and like they get to Sanctum Sanctorum and it's floating in the air, and he's like, that's new, isn't it? And she's like, yeah, like he doesn't like walk-ins. So like to stop people walking in, he makes a house fly. Fair enough. But they're going through the sanctum. You can tell something's different. Like, obviously, something's different because everyone knows Twitter anyway. But it's revealed that Loki is the new Sorcerer Supreme, and we find out it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, but that's just like
you find out. You find out from Strange that he's actually doing a decent job, but Strange is kind of the only person who not he doesn't. It's not that he doesn't care that Loki's there. It's like, well, I lost the game or the bet we did. He won it fair and square. He didn't take it off me, so
Makes sense.
I guess I'll go do something else. And the rest of the issue is Loki kind of trying to prove to people, like he's in the bar without doors or whatever it's called, where all the other magic people go. And they're like, for a god of lies, you're really shit at lying. And he's like, what do you mean? I did this fair and square. And he's like, they ask him what he's trying to do, and he's like, don't you think it's a bit redundant that like every time you cast a spell, you have to pay a price? And it's like, magic shouldn't be bound by rules because magic breaks the rules. Like the rule says there's not a rabbit in the hat, or magic, poof, there's a rabbit in the hat. It's like, actually, I get it. So his whole entire thing is to get rid of like the cost of magic. So
That's
spellcasters
cool.
and wizards can do whatever the fuck they want without a price.
See, that's my kind of deal. I want that.
Like it's pretty fucking big. Like considering that like Scarlet Witch
Yeah.
magic will eventually kill her because her solo series, like she is stupidly old at this point.
Didn't she have to find the magic or something at one point?
She went in the Witch's Road and she did a load of stuff in there.
Yeah.
I can't remember 100%. And that's like as much as I love that series, I can't remember it completely.
I
Cause
remember
it's been so much
something
time.
like that. Like either magic was lost or broken, and she had to find it and fix it.
In
Something like
in Doctor Strange, magic was lost because the
Ah.
Empirical took it away.
I thought that was
Speaking
Scarlet.
of the Empirical, actually, where they ripped up the Cloak of Levitation, Loki has sewn it together, so he's walking around with like his patchwork Cloak of Levitation. It's quite fun. But yeah, so he's doing this, and there's a subtle reveal in this that he knows who Jane Foster is when she's Thor. Because like Thor comes down, because obviously it's Thor and Loki, and then like he takes her to show them these frost giants that are planning an attack on Midgard. And like Loki's at the center of everything right at the minute in Marvel. Like everything revolves around Loki. So of course he knows what's going on there. He's obviously going to be doing stuff with Infinity Gems. And he's just like, he says something and it's like, Dr. Foster. And it's like, how the fuck do you know that? Like, when did you find that out? Or have you always known? Or is it a case of like, you can see through illusions and stuff? But it ends with Wanda going to see Stephen Strange. And he's like, when I didn't learn the mystic arts to become the Sorcerer Supreme. I learned it so I could fix my hands and help people. And he's like, I'm doing that now. It's just in a slightly different way. And she storms out being like, okay, you stay here and be Dr. Doolittle. And it's kind of like, what do you mean by Dr. Doolittle? And what does Dr. Doolittle do? He talks to animals. What Stephen Strange doing now? He's a vet. He's not a surgeon. He's a vet.
Damn, didn't see that coming.
It's just like, it's like so random. But it's definitely, if you've been off of Doctor Strange since like Jason Aaron hopped off, get back on it with this.
With Donny Cates, who else?
Definitely, it's
he's great. Like
less Papa Cates.
Look, Donnie, if you're listening, like Mitch was telling me to read it, didn't have time, couldn't find it, so I was like, I'm gonna read it after for sure. Because he retweets you, so y'all are friends now.
Oh yeah, we're best friends. Not like Jerry Dugan, but we're best friends.
And God Country, great, just great. If anybody still hasn't read it, just go read that.
I still haven't. I need to read Baby Teeth and that Redneck.
Oh, I need to read Rednecks too. That's the one I need to read. He's such a great writer, and it's technically, I guess, sort of new, but like he's been around. It's just that it's kind of like that whole Kevin Hart thing.
He's broken out recently. Yeah. Definitely, this year's been his breakout year for Cates.
I like to
think... I don't care. Make him the new Bendis. Give him everything. I'll read it.
I like to think of it as the Kevin Hart thing because like everybody thought, oh, Kevin Hart came out of nowhere. Like, no, that fool was doing like stand-ups at random comedy places for like the longest time.
Yeah, but that's everyone though, isn't it? Like, everyone starts. You'll do the same thing, but you don't get like you don't do something for ages and then you suddenly do something and then that's it. You just blown up.
Oh, it is. But Kevin Hart was the only like reference like I can remember the most of because that was like I legit like heard from an interview like these comedians and that I really like, and they're kind of talking about how people are so like out there thinking that Kevin Hart was made overnight and stuff like that. So I don't know. He's just the one I go to always. when talking about it because he's still big. I would say, right? People, he's still big.
I mean, I like Kevin
Or is he
Hart.
kind of
Okay,
simmered off?
he's funny for what he is. I don't know.
I mean, he got a shtick. He's making money off of it.
I was gonna say he laughs at no, he makes short jokes about himself. It works.
I mean, I make jokes about how I'm basically Luis from Ant-Man, and it works. I got my shtick.
Yeah. So that's all you need, like
you just need your stick,
yeah,
and stick with it. All right.
Back to Doctor Strange. Pick it up for the love of Christ. Sure. It's good. It's so good, and it's gonna be. I reckon it'll be a bit important down the line with everything going on.
Yeah,
that's definitely one to watch.
All right. My next one. So
yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to Justice League 33. I think the last metal tie-in that they're gonna be doing. I gotta say this is the best one of the metal tie-ins, or besides the Batman by themselves, but this was a good finale in a way to lead into Metal 4 because it was primarily Cyborg and it brought out what I really liked, and part of it might be because he was an ex-football player and he brings that aspect back out of it. So like, who's the writer? Williamson. So I'm pretty sure Joshua Williamson does the Flash. And what I loved was that, not a lot of people bring that aspect back that he was an ex-football player and that's what he used to do. And sports does have this thing about like, you might lose, but you can always come back up, that type of sense. So that is here where this one is kind of, the Batman have gotten all the Justice League, or at least most of them, like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, Flash, and are basically gonna put them onto the tuning fork and like do their whole stick at the very end. So it seems like they won right now, but Cyborg is like in his feelings right now, or in his mind. I don't know where he is. He's in this dark void, and he's talking to the mother box that's inside of him, which could mean he's crazy, but like either or. The thing that stuck to me was that the mother box is its own thing. I was like, yeah, forget that it can be its own thing. And it
should be its own thing.
Yeah, it has its own consciousness. A lot of people don't bring it up a lot of times, but it has its own consciousness, and it goes to Cyborg. It's like, look, Victor, you can't win right now. You're still half human. If you want to win, you got to be full mother box or full this element, whatever, element X. And you basically got to get rid of your old self to be able to survive. Yeah. And, he contemplates that and stuff like that, which I love that they kept bringing up the aspect of he was an ex-football player, and this was kind of him when he used to play football, of he would see like the tapes of when he lost and he had to try to figure out how to win, and this was him now. And also he would be given like multiple things of, look, you can win if you do this. And I guess one analogy would be kind of the whole steroid stuff, like if you do that you can win, and that's kind of like this here, just succumb to the power in that sense. Yeah. So, but he basically goes Super Saiyan, I would say, because he calls himself Cyborg 1,000,000, and he looks epic. Dude, because what he does is he gives himself just a little bit enough of the mother box and then pushes back and grabs it and grabs some of the power. Where am I thinking that? It's kind of like Naruto Nine Tails, is what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Where he grabs the power for himself.
Much, yeah, it's very much Naruto.
I very much like love Cyborg 1,000,000, and he's too powerful for any of the Batman, and he basically.
But let it be known right now, I'm sitting here shaking my head at that reference. It fits too well. Just like
but it's just so good, man. This is just like Cyborg and his not coming out party, but he finally gets his moment to shine in all this. And he becomes like, he goes Super Saiyan in a way. He also sets his friends free, and he also starts to blast his theme song in the middle of a fight. He's like, let's do this. He's basically, let's go.
Can you imagine if he does that in the movie?
I think that'd be great.
People would shit themselves.
Wouldn't that just be great if something like that happened?
Like all the people that are like, oh, a joke in the middle of a fight, you can't do that. If he did that, there would be a meltdown on some server somewhere.
Wait, you think people wouldn't like it? Is that what it is?
100%. People will shit themselves over the dance-off and Guardians.
Oh.
Stone One playing a theme song in a fight, as much as I'd love that, people should.
So it goes like this. So like, okay, so the Justice League are free, right? And the Batman are like, you think you can stop us? We ripped you to pieces last time. And the Cyborg's like Super Saiyan now. So he blasts the theme song and then says, I'd play this whenever I wanted to get the team pumped up. When the ball was on the 1 yard line when we're about to score, he's like, hike, let's go. And then that just seems hype to me. Like, if Cyborg ever had a moment like that in the movies, I think I'd die of just enjoying it.
I tell you what, I think he needs a moment like that in the movie.
I don't think he's getting it in Justice League, but whenever he shows up again, I hope he gets something like that, because he's definitely like a character that not a lot of people appreciate in the Justice League. People always thought it should have stayed on the Teen Titans and Martian Manhunter, and though I agree to an extent, he can't pull his own. Because he's about to hack the multiverse. Imagine reading that in a comic.
I mean, that's some crazy. That's a comic thing, isn't it? Like, I'm gonna hack the multiverse. Like, you can't. That doesn't make sense, and it sounds completely ridiculous in any other context. But the fact that it's talking comics, I can hack a multiverse.
Because that's just like the greatest thing. Is like, so what do we do next? It's like, we're gonna do a Hail Mary pass. We're gonna hack the multiverse, and then he sends everybody to different crosses of the multiverse. This is so like, it's almost like it's lovey than it's a comic in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not ashamed of what it is.
Yeah, it knows what it is, and it's going all out. Like, let's hack the multiverse. Let's put on this theme song. I'm Cyborg 1 million. And then one of the things I love was that they show Easter eggs of different multiverses. So they have Titans of Tomorrow. They have Earth 2. They have Superman. I think All-Star. They have New 52, which some people, I don't know.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah. So I don't know. I loved it. I loved this finale issue. It gave Cyborg his shiny moment. It brought on what I love, and I love sports. And he even said to Barbados, like, sure, or no, he said to the Batman Who Laughs, like, your starting five is good, but your team is only better when you have a good bench. And then you see like Dr. Fate come out, you see Deathstroke, and it's like, this is just awesome. I love this. I wish I'd see this in a movie, because I need to show you the panel of it, of like showing Cyborg 1 million. I think you'd think like, that looks epic. So yeah,
I bet I do. But I think it's a bit too much.
Probably.
I bet he's like really over designed.
No, it's kind of just Cyborg, but he has like fire energy around him and stuff like that. He's like Super Saiyan. He just looks epic to me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just really loved Cyborg having a shiny moment, the sports references, Scott Snyder. No, not Scott. Joshua Williamson. I'm so glad he brought that aspect of Cyborg back, because that is something that is lost to a lot of people. It's like, yeah, he was an ex-football player, quarterback. Of course he should have certain aspects of him that he used to have. So, yeah. I can't wait, because they ended off with him, Raven, and Flash, and they're probably going to go end up find Detective Chimp somewhere, and they're going to hack the multiverse and save everybody. So, this is just exciting. I'm so excited. And only you can see the smile on my face, because I never, like, there's not a lot of moments where I'm like, this is just pure enjoyment, and Cyborg doing what he did was just pure enjoyment for me. So, yeah. You go ahead.
But on to my last one, which is Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's 147. Yeah, 147. If it's not, it's 148. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
It's either or. But it picks up from where we left off in the last issue, where Gamora and Ant-Man are on the ship. They're trying to save these immigrants. Well, not immigrants. Refugees is a better word. From these heavy metal zombie Ultrons. Because as Jerry Dugan set up in Uncanny Avengers, Ultron did fuck up a planet. And it's coming back to haunt him, which justifies why Ant-Man's on the team. For one reason. There's another reason coming up. But they get out of that, like the corpsmen from the Nova who left, and they thought they abandoned them, came back, so they escaped. Scott goes Giant Man and passes out, trying to stop the door from getting bashed in, because of course he does, it's Scott Lang. And the rest of the issue is it's mainly Rocket going around like inspecting the Nova Corps, and then it leads into Star-Lord meeting up with Richard Rider, because they haven't actually met up since they've both been back alive from the end of the 2008 run, where they both sacrificed themselves in the Cancerverse. And it's like, why didn't you tell me you were back? Like, it's a really good moment, and it's one that I thought happened before with Bendis' run, but I guess it didn't. But like, Jerry Dugan, he nails like the return of it, like how they would act. Oh, excuse me. But Their job is to investigate spies in the New Nova Corps that have set up a base on this random planet that's got no like minerals. It's a worthless planetary body, really. But it turns out there's a bit of a confusion because they set up this base, or at least they say they set up this base to find out who the spy is, and it's all the Raptors, like who Richard Rider's brother's part of now. He's been brainwashed to be like they're fucking everyone up. So like they built this facility, and they built it for one reason really, and that's because there is an Infinity Stone there. But it's not just a normal Infinity Stone. This thing is like 6 stories high, and they've had to build like a massive silo over it. So I'm guessing Ant-Man's going to shrink that down at some point. But it's just like, what the fuck? There is a massive. It's like the entire page is just this one Infinity Stone. It's absolutely crazy.
I want to see that page. I'm gonna go look it up right now.
Go on my Twitter.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, okay, never mind. I saw it.
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, that's definitely different. I didn't expect an Infinity Stone. It's like the last 2 pages are literally the same page, but with panels added in. And it's like, that's an Infinity Stone. I thought it'd be bigger. I'm just like, eee. So yeah, it's pretty crazy what he's doing with this, and it's been a while since the Guardians have had like a massive story. Even though it's not going to be as big as the DNA run, but it's nice that we're bringing the Elders back to the Infinity Stones. The Infinity Stones are coming back to the playing field, even though it being this big would explain why there's no Infinity Stones in the multiverse at all if they're all like brought together as one. But yeah, it's some pretty crazy stuff.
I mean, it sounds crazy to me, especially after seeing that picture of the big Infinity Stone. It's like, oh gosh.
It's obnoxiously big.
Yeah, I thought it was something else. I was like, oh wait, that's the Infinity Stone?
I don't know which one it is, because it's not necessarily a color that I would associate with the Infinity Stones. It's too pastel-y.
Quick take. What if there's a new Infinity Stone that was created?
I mean, it could be a possibility that it's the Ego Stone, which hasn't been seen since the 70s.
Oh.
It's newsflash, people don't know there's 7 Infinity Stones. even though there's kind of 6, they kind of retconned the Ego one out. Why not bring the Ego one back in? Fuck it. Yeah. I'd love it if it is, then that just fucking throws
That's a
everything
callback right there.
There's it's just like, But yeah. That's the end of my last one, really. No, it's just crazy stuff.
All right, my last one. It's gonna be the Batman Who Laughs #1. Who wrote this? I want to say it was Scott Snyder, but it might have been like a combination of a bunch of writers. Let's see, because I know it was James Tynion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's always a great writer. I definitely really like this issue because there was a lot of what I didn't expect, and that was the whole. They even told you in the beginning, like, you're not gonna see what's coming.
Yeah, I love that. It's just like, what happens if you have all the cards and then it's but one card?
The Joker card.
So good.
So from what I'm thinking, the reason he became that is because the Joker had something inside of him that he once he was waiting for someone to kill him. Majority just Batman. He's waiting for Batman to kill him, so Batman would end up becoming what Joker wanted without him like realizing he would, or without him even being able to stop it. In that sense.
Yeah. It's kind of. It's a what if Joker wins, really.
Yeah.
Because he hands down won. He got what he wanted.
Because I was like, so in Injustice, Superman kills Joker. Then he goes all crazy. And now, just don't kill the Joker, guys. Can we,
Yeah, I was going to say, killing the Joker's bad.
Yeah, killing the Joker turns you evil.
Everyone's like, just kill the Joker. Why don't you keep it alive? And hands up, guilty of that as well.
Now we have
Here's why you shouldn't kill.
We have 2 reasons why you shouldn't kill the Joker. One, he turns you evil on both of them. And then eventually, you're probably going to stop. I just don't get why he has the spiked headwear, but that just because it's edgy, right?
Because he's got a kink, Joe. Do not kink shame him.
You know what I didn't expect the most? I kind of expected him to kill the Joker. I didn't expect to kill the Bat family.
No, I was expecting them to turn into the Joker. Because I was like, he has a number of Robins that matches up.
Yeah.
So, but suppose they
He
just random
kills
kids.
all of them. And
Yeah.
except Damien, I think Damien's the only one he doesn't kill. Damien's the one he turns into
Yeah,
one of the main Robins, and then somehow he finds other kids to be those.
yeah, but you don't see the Damien bit. But have we
Yeah.
seen that Robin before?
Yeah, I think so because he kind of is different. He has like the actual R. I think he looks a little different.
Yeah, he has the R like stitched into his chest.
Yeah, I
But
think we have.
has that Robin been in like the Teen Titans one?
Um,
So I don't think he has.
I think he showed up at one point in one of the tie-ins when Damien wanted to keep fighting, and then they took him out and like, no, we can't keep fighting. We have to leave. And he was fighting that same one, but I don't know if they mentioned it was Damien. Like, so yeah, but. I love the hero pools they have. So they have Plastic Man, Martian Manhunter, Red Tornado. Yeah, they have Hawkman. Everybody's just ripped apart, and then he kills John and Lois. Like, damn.
Well, no, he doesn't kill John and Lois.
No, he makes Superman basically.
No, he throws the black kryptonite at Lois and John.
Oh, I thought he throws it at Superman.
No, because doesn't he say for one of them two to catch it? He doesn't say to Clark.
No, because he says, when I tested it on Supergirl, she ripped her family apart before it killed her. And then it's, Bruce, you don't have to do this. And then he says, I know, catch. And then I think it's to him.
Does he just say catch? He doesn't say to either of those two.
No, he just says catch. And I think it's to Superman because he references Supergirl, like giving it to Supergirl.
Yeah. See, I just assumed that he would throw it to like John and have John do it. But I suppose it makes more sense that way.
But yeah, it was
That's fucked up.
I think the art style really matches with what's going on and whatnot. Like,
yeah,
it was a very unique art style, and I don't know if I don't know who's my favorite one. Maybe I'll say next week of which one is my favorite Batman of like their origin, because there's a bunch of good origins. I think.
This is definitely the one that's interesting. Like the only one I kind of wanted to read.
Yeah,
just because he is different from the rest.
He really is the most.
Slightly, he's the most psychotic one, definitely.
Wait,
but like, sure, this would be one of Bruce's nightmares, but it's more
his regret.
Yeah,
I think that's what they mentioned in here, right? That no, wait, where did they mention it? It might have been in Justice League or the tie-in or this one where everybody thought that the Batman, it was in Justice League, that the Batman were his fears, but they're actually his regrets. So that's what they mentioned in Justice League, and that's a cool idea.
How were the others his regrets?
I guess he regrets killing. He regrets for the Joker, and then he regrets going back in time to try to save his parents, which was the Flash one. He regrets.
I get that one. Yeah.
He regrets, I think, fighting with Aqua Woman, and then the Gotham got drowned, and she had to turn into the whole whatever crazy thing. So a lot of it makes sense. A lot of it is the regrets and Batman.
But when did he kill Joker?
No, in this one. Like he killed.
Oh, I thought you meant in like the main continuity.
No, I'm talking about in all the tie-ins. So each of them had their own regrets. I do love this one panel, which I think is very underrated, and I wish we saw more of it, was Barbados and the Batman Who Laughs just looking at all the multiverse, and they see the Earth.
Yeah, that was cool.
I think that's pretty cool, and he just shows up, and he's like, you're the strongest, or whatnot. You're like, kind of
it's
thing.
Like, yeah. Just look at what he did, look what he is.
Yeah, and I just love the whole narration aspect of it, and where I'm just curious as to who the person wrapped up in bandages is. Like, is it Batman? Is it Bruce? Is it ours?
Well, it can't be. Well, it could be. Don't know. That's the mystery.
Yeah.
I imagine we'll find out in Metal number 4, which is next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it next week? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I think that, in fact, is it, unless anything else is broken.
No, I think.
There you go. Until next time.